So this is 15 to the Streets. We are back live and direct. Intellect Studio in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We are doing this. This is City Sid, live and direct, 15 to the Streets, baby.
Y'all know me, I'm lucky. I wasn't shooting from the studio when we first started. Now it feel good to be in the studio. Hey, we in this piece now. We here.
This is Demar Nelson, man, calling live from the inside at Washington State Penitentiary at 15 to the Streets. It's great to be back here with y'all. We are Intellect Studios where intellect minds collide, and we hope to have intellectual conversations with the world about the system, man, the injustice impacted things that are taking place, making people aware of what's going on in here, how it's impacted our lives, people that are still doing time, parents that are suffering from children that are living in these systems. We're going to have great conversations, man, creating a crazy awareness, a big awareness about what it means to not only have the experience, but how this is also shaping our society when it comes to mass incarceration and the things that take place here, man. So thank you, man. I'm glad to be back with y'all.
For sure.
So today, what we're going to talk about is we want to put a space today where we're giving the audience an opportunity to be a part of this and to connect with it and to share what you would like to see, how you would like to see for this to play out down the future. So we have some ideas. We want to let you know what we're planning on doing right now. Until we start getting those things in. We've got merchandise out there now, 15 to the Street, black t-shirts.
Go get your 15 to the Streets hoodies.
We got the black hoodies, the Carolina blue and the Carolina blue hoodies, and we're doing our thing, man. And then we got intellectual minds, hats and apparel as well, right? So we got it all here for you. So that's where we want to start out. Is we just want to talk about, share some of the things that have been on our mind about what we want to see from this. So how you feel about that, Lucky?
My whole thing is I'm about stimulating thought in the mind. Whatever we doing outside of selling merchandise, and D opened it up and spoke about it, man, well, we trying to stimulate thought in people's mind. In a wide range of topics and conversations. The main focus is the penitentiary. Everybody knows somebody in the penitentiary, but everybody ain't reaching back. Everybody ain't, being responsible to the penitentiary. As we got the loved ones in there, they just in there. Somebody got to be there. D, that voice in there right now. We're going to be hearing from other people voices that's inside. Just want to hear everything. D, talk to them. Tell them something.
Yeah, it's being in here, still having my head in the mouth of the lion, waking up every day, experiencing being incarcerated. I just got so many different dreams and visions in terms of what I would like to see this platform actually promote, when we talk about being justice affected and justice impacted, when people come on the 15th in the streets, for y'all out there in the world, people need to understand what it's like for a person to go through a system. There's many systems, from the foster care system, going through mental health tragedies, going through the juvenile system, and coming into a prison system where you're being exploited, you're being ripped away from your family, you have to learn how to cope, you have to learn how to deal with yourself, and most importantly, you have to learn how to make the right decisions about your life and not let these people blindfold you, because if you don't take your life seriously, nobody else will, especially in a system that abuses us. So I want to see mothers that are having problems navigating the system come on here and get information from us. I want to see people that are protesting these laws that are on the books, these grandfathered laws that have been on the books since the beginning of time that have ravaged our communities, man. Some of these laws that need to be addressed and changed. I want to see people who have insightful ideas come on the show and talk to us about their experience, how they made it out, how they succeeded. Because having your freedom is one thing. You guys know that. You guys are out there now. It's not enough to get your freedom no more. We need people to get out of here and be successful.
Come on.
That's what keeps people out of prison. social. You know, those are just one of many things that I want to see, man. How you feel? Feel like, what do you think when it comes to that?
So for me, I just want to reiterate on this though. 15 to the streets, right? That came up about a phone call from prison is 15 minutes. And that phone call is your lifeline to the streets. And before they had tablets, we had to sit on a payphone and you had to wait in a line. And on our tier, me and D's tier, it was 60 guys, 4 phones. Sometimes only 2 or 3 of them worked at a time. But you were all waiting on that phone and you got one call. And you had to wait until that line would go down. So that 15 minutes was important to anything that you wanted to connect on the streets. When we talked to Lucky's brothers, you know, they get a 15-minute phone call and then they gotta wait before they can get back on the phone, just because that's how the phones is set up. But that 15 minutes is important. So for me, it is about giving the voiceless a voice to be heard. I mean, I did just a short bit of time, but I was able to sit on a lifer tier and be with some guys that had Buck Rogers sentences. I've already said that. And to see these guys doing the amazing things that they're doing inside, and the world not being able to see that, see the transformation of this person to this person is like, wow. And people need to see it and hear it. So this is an opportunity to give people an opportunity to just get their voice out and be heard. I want coalitions to be a part of this. I want lawyers to be connected to this and judges, so that when they're watching this, they're looking and they're hearing something, you know, so it's important for us to all be comfortable with our DOC number. Right? When you get on, when someone comes in, I want them to be able to be free to share their DOC number, because we don't know who's going to be out there that's going to hear it and be able to say, I need to tap in with that person, because that's how it works. You know, somebody hears something that resonates with them, and then, man, they want to jump on board. And I want that to happen. I want the audience to be free to be able to send us messages with people that you got that are incarcerated, so that we can connect with them and possibly get them on here, because we don't want this to just be a Milwaukee, California, Washington thing. We want this to be a nationwide, worldwide thing, right? We want the mothers Carlos, the last time we had something, Carlos had an amazing thing where he talked about the mom giving her message. All right, so that's where I was at. I just want to make sure that everybody is being heard, and that this gets out to all the people that need to be connected to this. So again, I'm City Sid, 824057, Washington State Correctional Center is where I did most of my time.
I'm gonna respond to something you said in a minute, but I was just telling Sid, man, you said a whole lot, and you spoke to everybody that you want to be connected with 15 to the streets. And I want the same things. Like anybody that 15 to the streets can assist or help in any way, I want them to be connected to. You named off everybody. Like I want them to be connected, but I'm gonna speak to why it's personal for me. 15 to the streets. Because like D, you called him the voiceless to an extent, to a degree, yeah. But when I was on the inside, when I was in there, this wasn't even possible. If something like this would have came along, I would have loved to be a part of it. Because I feel like I could have got so much more done. I could have served like a real purpose, because there was a lot of shit going on at the time. Not that it's not now, but just in a different way. Technology is you see how it's evolving. But for me, it's personal because I got 2 other brothers that's still in prison. And my mama ain't had us, all 3 of us, in her presence at the same time in over 30 years. And motherfuckers is aging out. My grandparents, they 90. My mama, she up there, like motherfuckers is aging out. And we know what that means. This life, don't nobody get out alive. So that's why it's personal to me. I need for her to have all 3 of her boys in the same space again. You know what I'm saying? It means that much to me. So everything I'm out here doing, all these, the grunt work I'm doing, the jobs I'm working, all the hustling I'm doing, all that's for when they walk out, they don't got to do none of that shit. I'm doing it so they won't have to. They walking out to a legacy. They walking out to a stake in the game.
But I gotta say one thing to that though, right? And the one thing about that is you can only do so much, but they still gotta walk they walk when they get out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to go through some things when they get out. Just like you did, and just like it's just a part of life.
But no, I don't exclude that. What I'm saying is, when my big brother, this is his second bid. He got out and came back. So he doing another long bid. When he got out the first time, I wanted for that nigga to do what I'm doing. So when I come out, you already got everything situated. I'm being the big brother right now, and it's cool with that. They've conceded that. I'm the youngest. So when they walk out, they gonna have their own lives. But when I'm saying they walking out to a stake, yeah, they walking out to, they not walking out being no employees. They being bosses when they walk out.
Okay. D, what you got?
I think it's unique, man, because, you know, what's being said is that, you know, of course, there's going to be some perils that people can't foresee when they re-enter the community, right? But one of the things that I hear Lucky saying is yours, like, man, like a lot of the times, man, people don't understand that things have changed. And people don't understand that they're changing and they don't even know it. So it's like, there's going to be a bunch of availability to a lot of different platforms and stuff that's going on because, you know, of what Lucky got going on. Our experience, it's lived experiences. I'm telling you guys right now, from the inside out. You know, I'm in here right now. I'm looking at it, literally, man. Right now, as we speak, I'm sitting on the stairs, man, doing this podcast. And one of the things that I see around me is I see a bunch of men, man, standing in the middle of the bedroom, man. They ain't got nowhere to go. They ain't got nobody to call. They ain't got no family to reach out to. I see fathers sitting at these tables, man. They haven't talked to their kids. I see grandfathers in here, man. I see brothers who, since I've been here, their health has declined. Like they literally, man, they're all walkers, man. They got masks on their face, gloves on their hands. Their health is declining. It's a lack of purpose, man. And so hearing you speak on those things, man, it's important that people find purpose. That way when they get back out, it's like, man, like I have something that I can be a part of. I can utilize my skills. I can utilize my past. I can utilize what I've been through to plug in and give back. Because that's really what it's all about. Because being here, man, it's like being buried alive, man. It hurts. Like, it's an everyday fight trying to get people to see what I see. And they don't want to see it. Some people don't want to see it, but some people don't know how to see it. So I definitely agree with what both of you guys are saying. What Sid was just talking about is important, too, because sometimes we get out and we think we got it all figured out. Even if you got a couple bucks, man, that's not going to fix everything. You got to deal with some social ills. You got to deal with some emotional health. You got to deal with some awkward moments that's going to hit you by storm. You got to deal with the no's. You got to deal with adjusting to technology, adjusting to how they do things now. There's so many different things that you got to be prepared for that you can't prepare for when you're in a place like this. So, you know, that's what I think, man.
But, you know, I'm gonna just tap in on for what you just said, right? People ask me, Sydney, when did the change happen? I said the change happened while I was in prison, because I knew I didn't want to come back and sitting there and being cellies with D and being cellies with other guys who wasn't coming home. You build some relationships. Like my relationships are stronger with the people that I did time with than they are with some of the people that I've been out here with my whole life. You know, so, and the reason why is because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these amazing men and I'm thinking, man, how impactful they would be to the world if they was out here, and the world don't even know. Like, see, the world doesn't even know that the change, DeMar has Salt. He's the one who inspired me to do this. He has a podcast already going, individual podcast that he's been doing for years on Instagram. So go check him out at Salt. right? But he's been doing that inside. He's been impacting and infecting the world on his own. And he didn't wait for nobody else to do it. So I just think, you know, when we give them our platform, like your brothers are dudes that are doing it inside. They're doing the right things inside. So when they come out, your helping hand is going to be valuable, and it's going to be received well.
You better believe
because
it.
they put in the work while they was in there. They wasn't on some dumb stuff while they was in there, and then they come out and then they talking about, oh, well, my little bro got me set up and he's ready for me, but you ain't did nothing inside to prepare yourself for getting out. So that's not your brothers, though. So when you speak, that's a whole different ball game than to what you hear a lot of when you inside. Oh, when I get out, I'm gonna make these changes. Now them changes happen when you inside.
Right. See, because when I speak, City said, it's like everybody got these catchphrases and these quotes that they want to use. I am the quote. Like I am when a motherfucker say, man, I'm my brother's keeper, and they post that and they it's a hashtag for them. I'm living it. Like I am. Everything I just said here and outline for y'all about how I'm gonna have them walk out and what they gonna walk to. That's the keeper for real. And I ain't posted about it one time.
No, but
That's
you know,
who I am.
but you know that
So,
your brothers are gonna be
but
good.
To speak to D, that's somebody has to be that, and you spoke to that, D. Somebody has to be that. Why everybody can't be talking about it, and you a champion of. I'm tired of people talking. I'm tired of people coming around me wanting to be a part of something when it's winning. No, you got to help me build it. If you're not gonna help me build it, fuck being around me when I'm successful.
What's my word, man? What's my catchphrase?
Yeah, put it on paper.
Yeah. D, my guy fought me to the tooth and nail about it.
Put it on paper.
He fought me to it. One day I told him, I said, man, that sounds good, but man, he has this great idea. And I was like, man, that's great. I said, but man, just put it on paper. I said, because when you put it on paper, it's real. He sat there, man, I know he was mad at me on the inside. He was not trying to hear me. So about 2 weeks went by, and I said, bro, we did some paperwork, and we put it on paper, right? And we went to a coffee shop, and I slid the computer in front of his face, and I said, okay, read this.
Hey, D, he gave me a business card, man. It was a business card. It was dope, too. It rounded off his point, but yeah.
And then I said, man, this is what putting it on paper means. Because his words were, see, this is something that somebody could read, and they're going to want to talk to this person. And I said, see, that's what putting it on paper means. So now he is all the way in with me on putting it on paper.
Yeah, you got that one.
Yeah, that's what mobilizes the idea when you put it on paper. Hey, but I got a question for both of y'all. How has your dreams changed since you guys have been out there? Because I know when you're locked up, for a man that's still incarcerated, we make a million plans. But when you get out there, you realize that those things change. How has your dreams changed? Your visions changed? Your motives changed? Your family changed? How has things altered for you guys since you've been incarcerated?
D, ain't nothing I planned in prison went according to plan. Nothing. Like, and right now, and I'm just being real with you, D. Man, I ain't doing nothing spectacular. I ain't losing. I ain't winning. I'm surviving, my nigga. That's just to be real with you. And any plan that you can come up with in there, you trying to plan to get something that you ain't never experienced, and that's like a hard thing to do. Like, how do you plan for something you never did before? That's essentially what happened with me. Like being 26 years, that's a quarter century. You know how much shit changed in 26 years? So I had to learn everything all over again. To say I know how to do something that didn't exist no more wasn't working. Like, everything is digital, like technology, and you know that shit ain't in prison. They still doing paper applications. You know what I'm saying? That's the platform they teaching y'all for, and y'all using paper. Now put it on paper, something different out here. And that's another thing. The technology shit done took over out here, and they ain't learning technology in there, so they gonna get out of there and they gonna be tripping over themselves out the door. Cause somebody gotta help them learn that shit.
Yeah, see, for me, you remember, D, I used to sit down and I used to write that paper. You'd be like, Sid, you doing them numbers? You doing them numbers? And so the first thing that was important to me was establishing my credit. Because when I got out, man, I had a 522 credit score, you know, and I wasn't gonna be able to do nothing with that. And I had a 522 credit score because I had 2 cell phone bills that was bad from when I failed. I had a We Energy bill, and a cable bill, and a credit card bill. So I started tackling all of that. Bro, it's 10 months and about 15 days, and I'm at almost a 690. You know, so that was important to me, right? Getting my credit, I did that. But you know me, D, I write my goals down, and I was achieving everything that I wrote down in there, and I was proud to show it. Like, I did this, I did that while I was in there. So now I'm out here. I got these goals. So I'm just going down. I'm doing a lot of altering of the goals. You know, like we looked at a duplex. Remember I was talking about getting a duplex? Well, we looked at a duplex this week, and it's possible that it could happen.
Hey, let me just, I don't know if this answered your question, D. I don't know if it did, but I'm just gonna say this. People in prison have the propensity to think that once you free, all your problems go away. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, I still had the same problems. Like, I'm playing at a severe disadvantage.
No,
know
and you really are.
Yeah,
But-
because I don't ask nobody for shit. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I've been out damn near 3 years, and I've been working. Like, I keep a job. So, D, when you say how the plans, I'm trying to speak to it in a real way. None of my problems went away. If anything, they got worse. I think what's easier is knowing what you going through in there, D, and knowing what I went through in there. The shit's easy out here. Everything to me is easy. But nonetheless, I'm going through it because I got to start at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? That's why, now it's making sense. That's why I want bro and them to come out here and don't got to go through none of the shit that I'm going through. I spoke to it earlier. So I'm hoping this answering your question. Like, all my problems didn't go away.
No, but they don't go away. But to fail to plan, well, how does that say? What's that say? No plan is a plan to fail, or something like that.
Everybody gonna come out with a plan.
No,
my
but
only thing is,
it's not that you come out with a plan, but you gotta figure, you gotta say something. I'm gonna do something. You know what I'm saying? When you got out, you didn't just, you had to, like you said, it took you 6 months to just be cool coming out the house, right? That's a part of the plan. You have to figure out how to maneuver in this world. But you had a family too, that you had your mom is a strong support system for you. So that disadvantage is less of a disadvantage for you, because there's a lot of people that come out and they don't have nothing and they go into the halfway house.
See, now we talking about a pride thing, because just because I have those resources there that I could use them, and I know what you're speaking to. Yeah, I got a good support
No,
system.
and what I mean, but that's important.
But
But see, that's important, because see, you didn't have to go and you didn't have to sit in a halfway house, and you didn't have to figure it out like that. You got to ease back into it, and there's nothing wrong with that. See, we don't always have to. Just because we did some time doesn't mean that we got to shit on when it's cool. You know what I'm saying? When we have those resources, we don't have to shit on those resources to make our situation more complicated. Like it's got to be more hard. No, I got a phenomenal family, and when I say the door was open, they let me out of prison with $440 in my pocket. But my family came and picked me up. And I knew that I wasn't worried about the $440 because my family was going to be there to support me. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't like they was going to support all my needs, but they was there and I had a place to go until I could get it together and figure out where I was going to eventually make my move to.
That's what's up. But at the same time that you there and you know you have the family to lean on, I try to make myself light wherever I am in life. I try to make myself light. And what I mean by that is I don't never want to be a heavy nigga. Like when people get too heavy with me, I'm dropping them. Because I can't carry you. You know what I'm saying? I got to carry myself first and foremost. So when it get too heavy, I carry you as far as I can take you. But I'm just letting you know I'm that nigga that when you get too heavy, I gotta lessen my load. And what got to go first?
So see, and this is, like I said, this is where I struggle because we like in our community, we're so stuck on this prideful, like I gotta be that nigga and I gotta be this and I gotta go through the struggle and I gotta go through this. Fuck the struggle, man. The whole goal is to get away from the struggle and to get whatever we can get that's gonna help us get out of the struggle. See, you didn't just go get out of prison and go marry some Jake woman that was doing down bad, just like, you know what I'm saying, in a bad situation and was gonna carry you in a bad situation. You went and you found a woman and you found each other, yeah, right? And you got it. See, and you can sit up here and we can act like it's a hardcore, but no, bro, we ain't got to go through the shit and we ain't got to be cool with that. You have a good life, man. It ain't the one you want right now, but it's a good life. And I don't want you to be telling people that, man, because see, there's a lot of people that's gonna get out and they gonna want to be like, oh man, fuck that, I'm going and I'm doing it the hard way. Nah, we not doing that.
It's not about doing it the hard way. It's doing something for yourself first before. This is what I want a motherfucker to do. Don't come and just ask me for no shit. Do it yourself first, or at least try to do something yourself first. If you don't do it that way first, get out my face.
Hey, this is City Sid. Man, we live and direct from Intellectual Minds Studio. It's me, Lucky, my guy Lucky. And we have a guest on today, and that guest is Ra Raina. Yeah, he's still there. And he's about to introduce himself. Introduce yourself, Ra.
Okay. My name is Reno Ra. I'm over here at Cedar Creek, here in Washington. I'm from Tacoma, Washington.
What's your DOC number?
My DOC number is 894748.
And how much time you done?
I got until next year. I'm eligible. This is my 19th year I've been locked up, and fortunately, it's almost over with. Yeah.
Okay. So check this out. Rob, we got my guy out here.
Yeah, Rod. This is Lucky. How you doing, man?
Okay, Lucky, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm good out here. I'm good. I hear you said you got like a year to go.
Yeah, I got a year to go. I'll be eligible for release next year. So.
Well, yeah. Tell me something. What you look forward to doing when you get out here? What you most look forward to doing?
Most forward, I'm looking to spending time with my family. Maybe do a little bit of travels, man, before I get my career going and everything like that to get back on my feet. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that most. You know, my family's been a big support to me during these years, man, and to spend that time with them all these times and all these years that I've been. So, you know, that's important to me.
We just was sitting here talking about plans and coming out of there with plans. What kind of plans you made? And do you think your plans, I mean, do you go do A, B? Do you stop at B? Do you go to Z? How you plan? Talk to me about your planning.
Oh, I got tons of plans. For years on out now, I've just been a part of this electrical apprenticeship program. So that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. A lot of people around me were doing it growing up. I got friends in here that do it now. So, you know, I found it interesting. And when I came up on the program, I was fortunate enough to get in. So I've been doing that, collecting journeyman hours and stuff like that. So once I do get out, I'll have something that I'm comfortable with, and also connections in the field where people can hook me up. So I constantly do that. I study every day, I work and I collect hours, but I also do other things as well. I cut hair. I am the barber here, and I have a little thing too because I'm at a camp right now. So fortunately, a lot of people go home from here. And my way of giving back is that I cut people's hair on the way out, and I do it for free. And that's my way of saying, hey, good luck to you, and don't come back. But yeah, there are multiple things that I do. I also work for the Department of Natural Resources as an auto mechanic, so fortunate enough to do that as well. And in the off seasons, during fire seasons, I also fight fires. And I'm a cook for the firefighters that are doing project fires. So if there's a big wildland fire, I go out there and I cook for up to 1,000 people sometimes. So and I make good money doing that, which allows me to save up. So when I get out there, I'm on my feet. I'm kind of financially stable, and I'm able to maneuver and see what I want to do in life. But I have a lot of other things, to do, but a lot of connections with a lot of friends and family doing good things. I have people that are like community activists. I have buddies of mine that are real close to me that are working with the youth, coming out of prison, doing all that. So there's so many opportunities, and I just don't stop. I can say I have plan A, B, C, and D, but it just never stops.
Hey, I just want to interject, Ra. So I was at 2 penitentiaries with Ra. I was at Shelton with Ra, and then Ra left and he went to camp, and then I followed probably about 8 months later. And the first day I get to camp, Ra comes up to me and goes, Sid, come here, check this out. And he takes me to the kiosk. He got to call you. He takes me to the kiosk and he says, Sid, he says, look at this. And he punched in the kiosk and I said, oh man, he had $7,800 in his account. He said, man, I just made that in the fire season. He says, and I got 2 more.
Yeah.
So they're making $23 an hour in the fire camp. And he's a cook. So he's focused, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay focused. I know that I've been gone for so long that any money that I make can help you out. You know what I'm saying? Once I touch down the streets, make it easier on my family and everything. So it's a blessing. I've been blessed.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ra.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So tell us about Ra before he fell.
Oh, the Raw before you fell. Oh, my goodness. Where do I start? So I was born in Long Beach, California. I say I'm from Tacoma because I lived majority of my life in Tacoma, Washington. But coming from Long Beach, California, moving out of the state, my father wanted to make a better life for us because he was involved in gangs. My uncle was involved in gangs. So, the house and all that was getting shot up all the time. So we had a set of cousins out here in Tacoma, and he got with my uncles and stuff and was like, hey, we're going to go out there, hopefully make a better life. So when we came out here, little did he know, he moved us from one violent gang-infested neighborhood to another. And not his fault, my folks are poor, and I'm first-generation Cambodian. Both of my parents are from Cambodia, third world country, so we didn't have nothing. We was broke, we was poor, so they can only afford what they can afford. And, growing up in Tacoma, anybody from there would know it's rough. So many gangs, so many violence and crime and whatnot. So growing up in that neighborhood, you just become a product of your environment, as I like to say. And, just got tied up in being in the streets with friends of mine and doing what everybody else do. Mind you, I come from a good family. Both of my parents, they gave me everything I needed and all that, but I chose to be in the streets because everybody else was in the streets, and that's all we knew. So got tied up in gang activity, which led to a whole bunch of violence and me carrying a pistol and all that stuff. And, long story short, I ended up in here because of an incident. So, yeah, it was rough growing up, but, person that I am today is completely different from who I used to be. And, yeah, big changes, I'll tell you that.
I joked with him earlier today. I said, Rod, you are so professional, man. I'm sorry, but I was cutting someone's hair today. Not that, so when I see you, I don't even see this gang member. You know what I mean?
Right. it's crazy because we had an Asian Pacific Islander event yesterday, and they were speaking on behalf of Cambodians. You know, we have different cultures and backgrounds and stuff like that. So as a group, we went up there, and I'm looking at the stage. I'm on the stage. I'm looking at my partners. There's like 5 of them. I'm the only one with a fade, you know, and I got the taper pants, you know, because I try to stay modern like everybody else. But I'm looking at my homeboys, and I'm like, man, I'm with a bunch of thugs. So as they're making a speech, and I get off the stage, and my partner Jamaica, he goes, man, you don't look like you belong here. And I was like, I sure feel like I don't. You know? So he started laughing. And I was like, man, you see everybody? I said, man, everybody looks like thugs. And he was like, little dude didn't know you the gangster out of all of them. I was like, no, I ain't no gangster. But
No more. That's not you.
But it just, no, it's definitely not me. And, you know, probably 20 years ago, whatnot. But, yeah, so it took me to that when you said that. Like, when I see you, I don't see that. So, you know, I definitely don't feel that way. So, yeah, it's been a crazy turn. You know what I'm saying?
But what we ain't, he is no nonsense. He's no nonsense. Zero.
No nonsense. Zero. You know, it's time to go home. You know, I got people that love me, care about me, and waiting on me, and also a lot of people here that are always watching that walk. You know, so.
And everywhere we were, he was a leader in the API.
Yeah.
He was one of the leaders everywhere. The 2 places that I was at, he was always one of the leaders of the API, and they was on some positive. He wasn't on no tomfoolery. He was on positive.
No, most definitely. I try to set an example to my people. You know, not just my people, everybody else that knows me. You know, if you just walk the walk, man, you know, I hope that people gonna walk with you. At the end of the day, you know, I can't be acting like a fool. I'm over here studying all day long, but then I go and act a fool over here. It's kind of contradicting a little bit, so it's just become who I am, and I just practice it each and every day. You know, practice that positivity, and you know, being in a place like this is full of negativity, so I try to take the positivity out of it, man, and utilize it and channel that energy into something good. So, you know, try to be the voice of the people and the voice of reason at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
what you got for him?
I appreciate you, kid.
We not done with you yet, man.
No, most definitely.
We not done with
Fire
you,
away.
bro.
Anything you want to know, I'm like an open book. You know me.
Yeah. What you got for him?
Drop it. Give us a What's the play for the day? Drop a gem on us, man.
You want to drop a gem for it? Well, everybody's just getting started here. It's 1 o'clock and Sunday afternoon, but I've been awake since 5 o'clock. You know, hit the gym.
Like what's been pressing you? What's been on your chest like an iron pipe that you just want to lift off of you? What's pressing you? Like whether it be, you know, a vibe, moves. What you been feeling lately? Like what you feeling? What you intent about?
Well, to be honest, man, I've been feeling a lot of pressure, you know, since I'm eligible to go home next year. I've been talking to a lot of people, friends and family out there. It's just been a lot put on me, you know, because I talked to a lot of my homeboys that had gotten out, too, after doing 20, 25 years, you know, and telling me to take it slow. And I sat there and I thought about it this morning when I woke up, and I was like, man, I got a lot going on. I got a lot of connections. People wanted me to go do this, go do that. And they're all great things, but I'm just sitting here like, how am I going to balance this all, right? After being locked up for 19 years ever since she was a kid, you know, not only having to worry about getting out there and being successful, but the pressure from everybody else to be successful, you know, so it's a lot of weight on your shoulders. And a lot of people don't realize that, you know, it's hard, you know, maintaining your composure and being the way you are, but also focusing on what you're about to do. So that's been weighing heavy on me, and it has been lately because my partner used to tell me all the time, like, yeah, you might have goals, like I might be doing this electrical stuff and whatnot, but just keep an open mind, because when you get out there, there's so many opportunities that might just fall into your lap. And all those goals and the plans that you had are still good, but at the end of the day, you never know what you're going to do. So I think that's a lot of the pressure that comes with me, but then also battling what's going on around me, You know what I mean? So, yeah, that stuff weighs on you over time, right? And then being anxious, all the anxiety from wanting to go home, to get
Yeah.
away from this type of place,
Yeah.
because you feel like you don't belong. So, yeah, those type of things I deal with on a regular.
Yeah, see, because camp is a whole different beast. It's like
Yeah.
like when I got to camp, I think I was there 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I was I
Right,
went to my
right.
counselor. I was like, "Can you send me back? Because this ain't
Right.
it." Going from a
Right. So
2-man to 42
Uh-huh.
people in a open bay dorm. Oh man, and it's like all the the structure that happens in a prison. When you get to camp, all of that
Right.
goes away.
It does, definitely goes away. Coming from like even a medium or a closed custody facility, which is like a maximum facility, you're coming to a minimum facility where most guys, they come straight from the streets here.
Yeah.
So these guys ain't never done no time. And they're going to do it like people on the street. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's a prison, so you're going to have, your drug addicts. You're going to have all types of things like that. So trying to live within that, but think outside the box, it becomes difficult. You know what I mean? And then you got people constantly going home. They're in and out. So it's like your mind's always wrapped around going home. Even if we say, hey, I must try to stay busy to not think about it, it's difficult to do. But yeah, it is definitely a different ball game. And but it gets you prepared for the streets. It makes you
Yeah.
desensitized to a lot of things. So it's a different ball game.
Yeah, see, I mean, I watched Cats. I watched D. I watched Raw because I started out on C&D tier with Raw and my partner Tone. Our
Right.
partner Tone, and then our other guy, your old Selly. I ain't gonna say his name though.
It was
That's
right,
what you
right.
said. That's what you
Okay.
said.
He said that's what you said. It's funny because I just spoke to him this morning. Right. So yeah, it's a different animal, man, coming to a place like this. But it's needed, right, for this transition period, and it's very important. At the end of the day, it really tests you, man, to see who you are as a person, and
Yeah,
right. So yeah, it's every day.
we appreciate you coming and gracing us with your presence, bro. I enjoy chatting with you, and building. I mean, we
Likewise,
built from day
likewise.
one. When I hit the tier, we was building.
Most definitely. You've always been a blessing in my life, brother. And I appreciate your friendship, man. And,
Yeah, we'd
so
like to
I
have you
appreciate
back
you guys
on
having me on.
in the future, in the near
Yeah.
future.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay,
definitely do
just
it
let me
again,
know
Ron.
whenever.
We get on, we get more grimy with it next time. Get a little more content in, man.
Yeah,
But it's nice
yeah.
to meet you, man.
Right. I appreciate you. Nice to meet you too, and thank you for having me. You guys keep doing good, man. Keep doing the work and giving the people a voice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, tell your people to check us out. They're gonna be able to see it on at 15 to the Streets podcast.
Okay.
On
Okay,
TikTok.
most definitely. I'll put the word out there. Okay, for sure.
All right, love,
I
bro.
appreciate you guys again. Love. Have a good one.
All right, thank you. Hey, this is City Seer. We had a great little session today. We're gonna close it out 15 to the Streets. Lucky, what you got to say?
Man, see y'all next time. Keep tuning in because it's going to keep changing up. It's going to get different. It's going to get better, man. But just keep tuning in. 15 to the Streets.
We out.